So here we go. Straight question to all my guests: Vaibhav Tripathi, Devashish Sen, Rohit Juglan, and Gargi Rao. Who do you play in terms of your spinners? This has been a question that all of India has asked for 15 years. Every time India has traveled abroad, we have asked this question: who is your number one spinner? This is what Sourav Ganguly has to say. Gargi, can you play that clip? And I will ask this question of all my guests. Who is our premier spinner? Who does play in Perth? Gargi, can you play that clip, please?
Tough question. Three spinners, but Nitish Reddy or Ashwin, Jadeja, Sundar.
You play your best spinner. You play your
Ashwin
best.
has always been at the receiving end.
No, 550 test wickets. How can he be at the receiving end? He's a fantastic cricketer. He is my first spinner. He should be the only spinner in Perth. India must play fast bowling. I know Jadeja is there. You get Jadeja's batting. But pick your best batter, pick your best spinner, and pick your best fast bowlers and play against Australia.
Straight answer. Rohit Juglan, straight answer. Pick your best spinner. Where do you stand on this? World Test Championship, we did not. Multiple times we haven't. Last Australia series, Ashwin's contribution is often forgotten. Rohit.
I think if you have asked me this question before 2021 series, I could have, other answers. But what he did in that 2021 series, especially against Steve Smith, and the planning part, or the way he's included in that, chats, that how to go about it. If whether it's about Manas Labuschagne, whether it's about Steve Smith, whether it's about any planning part, there were many documentaries and there were many interviews you did at that point of time. And there were one thing which was regularly coming out at that on those conversations, was that how Ashwin, how after a point Rohit Sharma, when he was into the squad, on those last two games, I think in Sydney and in Brisbane, how he was so important in giving those important insights or important plannings. So as far as Ashwin is concerned, I don't think there will be a doubt. You check the Nathan Lyon stat at this very ground. It's been amazing, and it's not like that it will be a lateral movement. It will be lateral movement there. It will be bounce there. So you can't play Ravichandran Ashwin. He's still a very good choice you have. It's if it's about batting also, then who can forget that him and Vihari, what they did with that with his back pain. So I think with the bat also he can contribute, with the ball also. Post 2021, both the WTC finals are a little differ, because the 2021 final, it's all raining before the final. It's all raining, so there might be a chance that you can go with Shardul Thakur, but India opted out. India doesn't went with Shardul Thakur at that point of time. Next, the other one, yes, I can very much say that, but yes, completely agree there with Dada.
Rohit Juglan is in agreement with Sourav Ganguly. Where do you stand, Gargi Rao? Straight question again. Ravichandran Ashwin, Jadeja, Washington Sundar, plenty of options. He says best spinner. Rohit says yes.
Every time you've asked me this question, and every single time I've answered that I would want Ravichandran Ashwin in my team. But every time I think so in the WTC finals, something completely opposite has happened. So I trust in Ashwin's skills, but do I trust in the management to have him in the team? That's where I get that. That's where things get a little dicey, because like, we all get in doubt: will they play Ashwin or not? These are the questions that come up for no reason, even though Ashwin is your best red ball spinner, but still never. I think even going into this BGT, it's his place in the team is not confirmed, which is something I personally don't understand. But at the same time, like I said, I would always want Ravichandran Ashwin in my team, but is it guaranteed? I don't think so.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We are asking because Saurav said guaranteed or not is a different matter. But where do you guys stand? Devashish Sen, where do you stand? A lot of people here saying Sundar is the best choice. Some saying Jadeja. Clearly, we can see introspect. Yesterday, I said X, Sharat Chandra, Cool, Upendra Singh, Washi. Lots of questions, comments coming. Where do you stand, Devashish Sen?
I would rather go with Ravichandran Ashwin just because of his experience. Yes, in recent past we have seen Ravichandran Ashwin not being preferred in overseas test matches. I had a chat with Brad Hawk. Yes, he also agree with to what Saurav has said in an interview to you. He reckons that Ravichandran Ashwin will definitely taste success given Nathan Lyon. He cited the example of Nathan Lyon because Nathan Lyon has been a huge success in bouncy conditions here in Perth. So why not playing an Ashwin, because he can generate that rapes and also get used to that bounce. So I think he will be a dangerous customer. Um, uh, um, for in India. And also the fact that Ravichandran Ashwin is a thinking bowler. So I would rather go with a Ravichandran Ashwin ahead of in the first Test match ahead of Ravindra Jadeja. Yes, you might argue it's Washington Sundar. He has done so well in recently, but Ravindra Jadeja, I would rather play a Ravichandran Ashwin ahead of Ravindra Jadeja in that first Test match.
Vaibhav?
See, if you look at the in terms of skill, then Ashwin is miles and miles ahead of Washington Sundar. Even the just it's just that Washington Sundar's current form gives you that option, and also the batting. I still believe Washington Sundar is better equipped for Australian conditions as a batter. But as a bowler, if you are going solely for the bowling, then I would prefer Ashwin. Also, you have to keep in mind the track record that he has against Marnus and Smith. Both have their shares of struggle in the last tour. So I think they should go with Ashwin. Also, you have to look at Australia, what they do. They never drop Lyon. Irrespective of the conditions, they never drop their best spinners. Their best spinner is Nathan Lyon. Our best spinner is Ravichandran Ashwin, without a shadow of doubt. So play him in the Perth Test.
Rohit Juglan, Ashwin's average is, Vaibhav Tripathi just referred to it. Ashwin's average against Marnus Labuschagne and Steve Smith, excellent. Usman Khwaja, 10. That is Usman Khwaja's average is against Ravi Ashwin, 10. So clearly, and Ashwin has this ability to rile up other batters, got under the skin of Steve Smith. India, unfortunately, if you look at it, Rohit Juglan, would you agree that we haven't given Ravichandran Ashwin his due? He is one player who has been sort of in and out in away tours. Ravi Ashwin has not been given what he deserves in Indian cricket. Rohit Juglan, am I right?
Boyaga, look, there have been times that he has given his chances also. I think 2014, 2018, if I remember that, I think it was a Southampton test, and I was reading some book. I don't know whether it's okay or to not okay to name the book, but in that book there were some reasons given after that Southampton test that why Team India moved ahead of Ashwin, why Team India after that Southampton test was not trusting Ravi Chandran Ashwin at that point of time after that particular test. So there were reasons given. That was a book which was written by someone in the team. So he has clearly given his reasons on Ravi Chandran Ashwin that why after that Southampton test, and that's on that particular Southampton test. Moeen Ali did reasonably well. He picked up, I think, if I'm not wrong, he picked up some 8 or 9 wickets in that test match. Ravi Chandran Ashwin didn't perform that well. After that, what had happened, what I particularly observing, that what has happened in 2021-22, that England series where Lords was a very flat conditions. Before that, I think if you we were playing in different conditions, at Oval also. So there were not matches given to Ravi Chandran Ashwin at that point of time. If you say, I would say that yes, there are chances. You have to give to Ravi Chandran Ashwin. There were some opportunities for him at that particular time. Before that also, yes, there were few games, but 2014, the 2018 time, he was picking up Alistair Cook, back to back in a test match. I clearly remember that, cotton bowled Alistair Cook. But after that, that problem in his, I think, lower back, he had a problem on that tour. So there were things which had happened, and I think the team management didn't got clarity, well, a clarity from his side, I think. So that's why I think from there onwards, I think this all was happened. I hope that someday the clarity will come from Ravi Chandran Ashwin also, what has been written about that particular incident. But I think yes, if you see the history, there were a few games which you can say that yes, Ashwin should be a part of that. But as I said, there is a story behind that.
Let me answer that, Gargi Raut. Let me answer Rohit Juglan on this one and ask you. This Southampton test that Rohit Juglan referred to is absolutely what he's saying, correct, when he says Moeen Ali picked 7-8 wickets and Ashwin did not perform. Soon after that test match, there was a conclave. At that point in time, I was with the India Today group as a consultant. We had a conclave in Dubai, and Ravi Ashwin was my guest. It was a one-on-one session with Ravi Ashwin. And I asked him straight on, did you let India down? Do you agree that you weren't good enough? Do you agree that you failed in Southampton? And exactly in these words, if you can go and watch that session, and Ashwin was clear cut. Yes, this is what transpired. This is what was expected of me, etc., etc. And Ashwin has always been clear cut. Fast forward, Sydney 2018. I still remember, Devashish Sen was with me. We were driving to Bradman's house in Bowral when we got news that Ravi Ashwin has shirked playing or bowling. And we were shocked that Ashwin did not want to bowl. What is going on here? He shirked bowling, and as a result, he was not played, etc., etc. A lot of drama around that test match. I asked Ravichandran Ashwin this question during my interview with him, and he said, listen, in Sydney of 2021, when you go to Sydney, all of you guys will be in Sydney, by the way. Vaibhav will be, except Vaibhav also at some point in time, I'm sure, will travel with us. So what happens is, in Sydney, there is where you train, there's a practice wicket, and then the wicket. The practice wicket in Sydney is sand. It is not like a turf wicket, it's sand. So Ravichandran Ashwin was bowling there. And when he went to bowl, this is 2021, okay, that test match. When he went to bowl in the second innings, his big toe got stuck in the sand. It got into the sand. And because it got stuck, he was bowling, his whole body twisted. So one hip went up and one hip went down. Immediately, he was in excruciating pain. He called Nitin Patel and he said, look, I'm in real pain. I can't move. It's that bad. So Nitin sort of laid him down and he said, listen, one of your hips have gone up and one is down. I mean, this is unreal. So he told Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane, just give me some overs. He said, I darted the ball for 2 overs. And he said, just keep going with me, because if you take me off, I can't bowl. I'm that bad. I can't bowl. I can't stand. So they bowled for about 11, 12 overs. Australia declared. India went in. Next day, India had to bat to save that match. Ashwin gets up in the morning and he tells me that I just couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. My wife and my children were sleeping in the other room. I kept calling my wife 20, 25 times. I could not get up. It was that. Then he somehow crawled out, and one of the physios came in. His daughter held his shorts and they put him into the bathtub so that they could put some warm water on him. And his wife asked him, do you want to play? Do you want to really play in this state? He said, I don't have a choice. He went to the ground, and we know the rest, right? He went, batted, saved that match for India. And I told him, what do you mean? He said, look, after the match, my wife actually told me you played. But for me, it is not that. For me, if I would have been dead on the cricket field on that day, I would have played. Because I was thinking Sydney 2018 and thought to myself, people said I shirked. I ran away. I did not. This dog never shirks. Whatever I can do, I might not be a great bowler. I might not be a great cricketer. I will not run away from national duty. Ravichandran Ashwin. One of my favorite cricketers of all time is because of this. The effort that he will put in, the trying, the effort, the commitment is unbelievable, Gargi Rao. That's why I answered this, because Rohit asked this question. Very pertinent, is fantastic. And that's where I ask you, Gargi Rao, play that clip once more, because a lot of viewers have joined in. And you tell me, as with Bharat and Vaibhav and Devashish, has Ashwin not been given his due? Play that clip once more, Gargi, and take the question.
Tough question. 3 spinners, but Nitish Reddy or Ashwin, Jadeja, Sundar.
You play your best spinner. You play your
Ashwin has always been at the receiving end.
No. 550 test wickets. How can he be at the receiving end? He's a fantastic cricketer. He is my first spinner. He should be the only spinner in Perth. India must play fast bowling. I know Jadeja is there. You get Jadeja's batting. But pick your best batter, pick your best spinner, and pick your best fast bowlers and play against Australia.
Gargi Rao, before you answer this, somebody is telling us that, who's this? John M. You better start praising Rohit, the test captain. Rohit fan club is upset at your channel. We will unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Don't care. Go do what you want. We in this platform, we don't care for subscribers and unsubscribers and trolls. We will say if we want to say, and by the way, Rohit Sharma is a fantastic captain, one of my favorites. But if you want to subscribe, not subscribe, I don't give a damn. We will say what we want to say. Hope it's clear. Gargi Rao, take the question.
I mean, the story you told, it talks about how much sacrifices there, how many sacrifices there are behind closed doors. For people to come on social media and criticize these players, it's so easy, but no one sees what goes on behind the scenes, the sacrifices made, the injuries, the pain, the tears, the blood, everything everything that you have to give to be a national cricketer. But at the same time, when you talk about Ashwin and the fact that he took responsibility and said that I did not shirk away, I think responsibility is something we've never seen lacking in someone like a Ravichandran Ashwin. In fact, I would say the entire setup right now is very responsible and are very honest and vulnerable with these things. But Ashwin, he's given his all to Indian cricket. We've seen that. We've seen that time and time again. And he more than deserves to be in the team for the Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Devashish, your thoughts? And also Dhruv Jurel at number 6, somebody is asking. Take that.
Yeah, Ravichandran Ashwin, and obviously he epitomizes a true fighter in him. Means obviously, and that is what means. That is what I like about Ravichandran Ashwin. You talk about a Gautam Gambhir, you talk about a Ravichandran Ashwin. These are all inspiring cricketers. Means not just with their feet on the cricket field. Ravichandran Ashwin is not about those 550 plus wickets. It's about the sacrifices. It's about the determination. And I was present when you interviewed Ravichandran Ashwin. It was our first backstage with Boria episode in Dubai. When he and while filming that interview, it gave me goosebumps. Means obviously, how on earth? Because until that time I didn't knew about that incident, and only when he said it to you, I came to know. And it's fascinating, and that is the one reason that you would expect Ravichandran Ashwin to feature in that playing 11 for India, because when your chips are down, you can always rely on a Ravichandran Ashwin to give it his all for the team. And as far as Dhruv Jurel is concerned, I think now Indian team are left with no other options but to play him, having done well in that game against Australia. I think Indian team has left with no options because they have a Sarfaraz Khan, because 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 are all set. 4, 5, 6 are all settled. Means it's all about number 3 with Shubman Gill missing. I would rather play a Dhruv Jurel ahead of Debdat Padikkal, because now can be confirmed that Debdat Padikkal is likely to stay back in Australia as a backup for Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. So Dhruv Jurel, with the temperament he displayed in that tour game, in that Australia A game, I would rather pick him ahead of a Sarfaraz Khan at number 3.
Vaibhav, when we think of cricketers, some like Ashwin don't really have that kind of same brand, maybe what a Rohit has or a Virat has. Not 50 million social media followers. But in terms of commitment, I mean, I've given Gargi the clip. I think Gargi is trying to get it done for this show. I've just given it to him. I've given Gargi the clip. If she can get it done, we will play it right now. But where do you stand on Ashwin in terms of commitment, in terms of effort? Except that New Zealand series where he did not look at his best, but for the longest time, your thoughts on Ravi Ashwin?
See, Ashwin is a fighter, and not just Ashwin. Whoever is playing for Indian team, I think we cannot question their commitment. At least, see, we understand, everybody understand that they have been blanked by New Zealand 3-0. Yeah, but you cannot question anybody's commitment, whether it's Ravichandran Ashwin, whether it's Washington Sundar, no one. And if specifically, if you ask me about Ashwin, Ashwin is a fighter. We have seen that before. Sydney, there are so many examples. Like you have recited one story. There are so many examples that Ashwin has showed that he's a fighter and he wants to fight. Even if he's not at his best, he will fight for the team with the bat, with the ball. Just look at what happened in Chennai when India were rocked by Bangladesh seamers. We were 144 for 6, and then he forged a partnership with Ravi Jadeja. He brought us back in the game, or that test would have been lost. Who knows? So he time and time again he has proved his worth as an all-rounder with the bat, with the ball. But now, if you look at this test specifically, and if you have been asked that who is your best spinner, then definitely Ravichandran Ashwin is your best spinner. And if you want the best spinning option, then you should play Ravichandran Ashwin. I understand there is Ravindra Jadeja, there is Washington Sundar, there is Nitish Kumar Reddy as the only seam bowling all-rounder option. But you should and you must play Ashwin in Perth.
There's a super chat. Rohit, take this. I think you should guys check Jadeja's contribution. Gani, can you put that out? I think you should. What is this? You should check Jadeja's contribution overseas test wins, Melbourne Lords Oval drawn test in Sydney, and also in the last test picked 10 wickets. Nobody has ever denied Jadeja's contribution. Even the turnaround in Melbourne, we talk about Ajinkya Rahane 100. It was Ravindra Jadeja's 50 as well. Rohit Juglan, take that.
No, obviously, as you said, that it's not about Ashwin or Jadeja, who has contributed more. It's about what lying ahead as far as the Perth test is concerned. So there, as per the I think as per the team combination, as per what you have to take there as a proper spinner. Because look, if it's about Jadeja and if it's about Washington Sundar, there you need those kind of I didn't remember anything the test matches you have put it here. I never seen Jadeja turning it with his bowling. All these test matches, mostly or almost all of them, Jadeja, if you see, mostly with the bat and a single out performance with the ball also. So the real point of discussion is here that if you are what Sourav Ganguly has said, if you are picking your best batter, is Jadeja your best batter? No. Is Jadeja your best spinner? No. Yes, Jadeja's contribution is really well, and the way Jadeja contributed with his bat, as Boreda said, Melbourne 50, or you can say time and time again he has contributed. That run out of Steve Smith. Forget about the contribution with the bat or ball. That single-handedly 2021 run out of the Steve Smith, that completely changed the things. So we are just talking about here what can we do for the best towards the team. If you are picking up a spinner, as far as spin point of view. So then I think if you see Ravichandran Ashwin setting up Manas Labuschagne, setting up Steve Smith, his average, as Boreda mentioned, with Usman Khwaja is 10, and Usman Khwaja is one of the 2 or 3 batters did well in last couple of seasons for Australia. Steve Smith's averages coming down. Manas Labuschagne had a very ordinary last season. So, who they are relying on? They are relying on Usman Khwaja. They are seeing Nathan Maxwell, a number 3 player who's going to open for Australia. When was the last time you saw that? And then they are, looking for a Travis Head or looking for a Mitch Marsh or for an Alex Carey. So, in between these, players, if you are getting rid of, Usman Khwaja or Steve Smith or Manas Labuschagne, you are almost putting Australia on the back foot. So, I think that was the discussion, that are you going to pick your best spinner? It's not about Jadeja having contributed to India's victory. It's about, are you picking up your best spinner?
From Ava Brown about Shubman Gill. Yesterday only we said this, Ava Brown, that Shubman Gill has this injury, finger injury, fracture, hairline. He will be out for 2 weeks. Rohit Juglan tweeted it out. He's expected back for the Adelaide Test match. He's definitely out for the Perth Test. We've put all of this out, so there's no question. There's no.
There are people still posting that Devdutt Padikkal. We again broke that news yesterday only, that Devdutt Padikkal is the name coming, and there could be a very means there could be a possibility that they will again hold Ruturaj Gaikwad also. We are not yet confirming this, but there are we had a word with a source in what they are telling us is there could be a possibility. Tonight, the India A team will fly from here to again Singapore to Delhi or Mumbai, in different parts of India. So we'll give you the live visuals that who are going from here and who are staying here back. So then I think we can confirm that whether Ruturaj with Devdutt Patikal is staying here or not.
Okay, so that's the answer. Gautam, why have you blocked me on your channel? I don't know how to block or unblock. Gargi can unblock you. If you've not used misappropriate language, you have every right to criticize me. I don't care, because criticism means engagement. If you've not used misappropriate, whatever language you said misappropriate, that's not the right word. You've not used improper language. I've got no reasons for criticism to block you. So Gargi can unblock you. Gargi, take this question. Jadeja has hoodoo over Oz. Remember that Oz feared Jadeja more. I don't think hoodoo or anybody fears anyone in international cricket. I think Ravichandran Ashwin against Smith or Labuschagne or Usman Khwaja, in terms of what Rohit was just saying, the impact Jadeja has had has been more with the bat rather than with the ball in these test wins. Nobody is taking anything away from Jaddu. That even that throw from the deep that set it up. But in terms of quality of spinner, that's what we are going. Sourav said, going with your best spinner. That is the argument. It was not A versus B. It was about the contribution of a certain cricketer. Who's your best spinner? Gargi Rao, thoughts?
Of who is afraid of?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody is afraid of anybody.
No.
They're only afraid of Virat Kohli.
Yeah,
No one else. And
They are
Bumrah.
afraid of sledging Virat Kohli, to be specific. Everyone's like, stay quiet, don't say anything to Virat Kohli. He might get fired and then, we're gone.
Now he is only a monk who didn't sold his Ferrari.
Wow.
No, he actually told me, no, that is the statement to me. I want to be a monk in a civil society. Again, in an interview to me in 2016, that was his statement. I want to be a monk in a civil society. Anyway, Gargi, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I hold the same opinion that no one is afraid of anyone in international cricket. I mean, they're all at a level playing field, but when it comes to Jadeja, he's more than able of dismantling an Australian lineup. But who's your best spinner? Like we've been talking for the past 27-28 minutes, I think Ashwin deserves to be in that team. When it comes to Jadeja and Ashwin playing together, will that happen? I'm not sure.
Okay, each one of you need to give me your 11, because Ravi Shastri's put out his, Sourav Ganguly has given us his. I will start with Devashish Sen and Vaibhav Tripathi, but I'll give you a couple of minutes because Gargi Raut has gotten that Ravichandran Ashwin clip that I just told you, the story. She's got that ready. Gargi, can you play it? I don't need the Steve Smith part. The Steve Smith part can be played another day. So when you play the clip, just forward it to Sydney, and by that time, all of you get your teams ready.
But in Sydney, they give you the outer surface, which is full of sand. So because we had bowled for the first 4 days, the footholds were big. And I went and just warmed up and bowled the first ball. My toe landed and the toe stuck inside the hole and my upper body twisted. And I'm like, ouch, that hurt. And one of the hips went down and the other hip went up. And I was wincing in lower back pain, and I didn't know how to do it. And then I went to Nitin, the physio, and I said, it's paining. He said, okay, lie down. And he took a look and they said the left toe is in front and the right toe is in back. So it was that bad. And he kept rotating my hip, got it into position. But whatever said and done, the damage had been done. He gave me a really powerful painkiller. I took the painkiller and kept bowling. It was painful because it took me 2 overs for the pain barrier to cross. I bowled 2 overs at Steven Smith and Manas Labuschagne, just darting the ball so that my body got into, the pain, got used to it. I got used to the pain. And once I bowled the 2 overs, I kept going for 14 overs. I told Ajinkya and Rohit that I cannot stop. If you stop me, I can't bowl again. So I went for 14 overs. And then my body was in pure shape and they declared, and then I went in. Little did I know that I was going to have the worst night of my life. So when I went after dinner, like I was just sitting, stretching, I went after dinner to lie down. My back didn't go down. Like I couldn't go down. So literally I put a towel underneath my back, held my hip up, and then went to sleep. I thought usually with back spasm, if you take a painkiller, the next morning is better. So the next morning I was awake. my mind was telling me to get up, but I couldn't. I couldn't turn left, turn right, or get up. And I kept yelling out. We were in 2 rooms. My kids were there, so my wife sleeps with the kids to give me space to sleep. So I was shouting about 20, 25 times before my wife got up, came up. The children were helping me hold my hands, and she just pulled me up, and I couldn't get up. So I just got on all fours, and even all fours were paining. So I called Yogesh. Nitin didn't pick up the phone. The other physio, I crawled outside the door, kept yelling for Yogesh. He came, he gave me a medicine, he gave me a painkiller, lifted me and just put me in the shower. So after I put some hot water on my back, it started warming up. And then I don't know how I even went to the game. So it was really painful. Put the bag, and my daughter held my shorts because I couldn't. So she just pushed the shorts up, and as she was pushing my shorts, I was like tearing up in pain. And my wife looked at me and said, "You're going to go and play a game?" I said, "Have to do it." But when I came back, when she called me after the game, I was sitting outside giving that immediate after game interview. My wife sent a message, "You actually did play." So it was quite, and she told me how my daughters were cheering, how they were watching the game. She was teaching them the game. I just felt that particular day, forget about the performances, whatever it is, that particular day in Sydney with pain, with injury, Ashwin could have shirked off. The same place where Sydney, a lot of people felt I shirked off, is where it was meant to happen, and I was so pleased.
Devashish Sen, react. You're mute.
This gives you goosebumps. Means obviously it means every time you listen to this interview, every time means you just love listening to it. Means it's such an inspirational story. Means these are all about sacrifices on a game of cricket field. It's not about the wickets or the runs you scored. It's about the sacrifices. It's about the mental strength. It's about the patriotic feeling for the country, giving it your all, the blood and sweat. Yes, as Vaibhav said, it's every cricketer is whoever is chosen to play for the country gives its best. There is no denying the fact that everyone gives its 200%. I won't say 100% gives its 200%, but there are some who makes it more special. And Ravichandran Ashwin is one such cricketer who you can trust, who you can rely upon, that when the chips are down, you can bank on the player to give his everything for the team. And that is what Ravichandran Ashwin symbolizes. Boryada.
Your thoughts on that before I ask Vaibhav Tripathi for his team?
My team?
No, Gargi, your thoughts on this Ashwin clip before I ask Vaibhav for his team. I'll start with Vaibhav.
I mean, I already spoke about it, that, this is a phenomenal story. Phenomenal because for someone who can't get out of bed to go out on the field and perform like that, I think it's one of those miracles that passion and determination give you. And it is a testament of how dedicated Ashwin is to his craft, to his team, and to India, and to anyone who's doubting him or has doubted him before, that he's run away from responsibility. I think that's the worst thing you can say about Ashwin.
पंकज तंवर, तुम लोग कौन से सैक्रिफाइस की बात कर रहे हो? मोटी रकम दी जाती है ये प्लेयर, जब जॉब इसके लिए उनको कर दो रुपीस दिया जाता है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. पंकज, वो अगर नहीं भी करता तब भी मोटी रकम दिया जाता, फर्क नहीं पड़ता यार, उसको फिर भी मिलता. वो टीम में रहता, खेलता, पैसा मिल जाता, चिंता मत करो. वो आफ्टर अ पॉइंट ना जीरोस ऐड होते हैं, उसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं रहता है. सो ये जो अश्विन इस बारे में बात कर रहा है, अगर वो सिडनी में नहीं खेलता, उसका जो इंजुरी था, फिर भी उसको मोटी रकम ही मिल जाता. क्या चिंता कर रहे हो? ये उसको करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं था. सो when we think that money, and because they are getting X amount of money, they have to do this, all this is nonsense. Because some player is getting 15 crores, Ishan Kishan, so he has to perform every game. Does Ishan Kishan tell anybody to go and give him 15 crores or what? No, you've given him 15 crores because you thought he's worth 15 crores. Why are we grudging people money? Nobody has gone and snatched the money away. They have made it to the Indian cricket team. Nobody stopped you or me or anyone to make it. If you want to do that career, to become a cricketer, go do it. You'll also earn that kind of money. So I don't think these kind of comments are fair. Vaibhav Tripathi, you're 11.
Okay, so I have picked my team assuming that Devdutt Padikkal is available for selection. Okay.
Because
so
Rohit Juglan confirms he is. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so assuming that Devdutt Padikkal is available for selection, KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal to open. Number three, Devdutt Padikkal, he will start, and then fourth Virat, five Rishabh Pant, six Dhruv Jurel, seven Ravi Jadeja, eight Ravichandran Ashwin. I'm not playing Nitish Kumar Reddy. Then comes the three bowlers: Bumrah, Siraj, and Akashdeep.
Bumrah, Siraj, Akashdeep, so no Prasidh, and two spinners. Rohit Juglan, where do you stand?
Do you have to tell my team or have to comment on his team?
Your team, and where you differ.
I differ on Nitish Kumar Reddy. I include him in the team, and the team which I'm going to tell is not what I think, is what they are thinking, what I am getting from here. What I see, what I am observing, what I am taking notes of. So according to them, it's not according to me. And there is difference. If it's by me, then it's a completely different team. If it's by them, then it's a different team. So by them, it's gonna be KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal to open. Number three, again, Patikal. Patikal will be at number 3 in my playing 11. Number 4 will be Virat Kohli. Number 5 will be Rishabh Pant. Number 6, I'll go with Dhruv Jurel. Number 7, I'm going with Ravindra Jadeja. Number 8, I am going with number 8. Just a second. Yeah, number 8 will be Nitish Kumar Reddy. Number 9 will be Jasprit Bumrah. Number 10 will be Mohammad Siraj. And number 11 will be Harshit Rana. So I differ in the bowling.
Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, and Harshit Rana. Devdutt Padikkal at 3. Devashish 10. Where do you stand before I give it to Gargi?
Yeah, obviously, it's if you ask about myself, Nitish Reddy definitely looks a certainty for me in that playing 11. Given today also he was seen interacting with Gautam Gambhir for a long time. It is based on the observations from the practice sessions. So I think Nitish Reddy could be an option at least for the first test match where there will be bounce and carry. So no point India might go in with an extra simmer. Obviously, their three frontline simmer will be. I totally agree with what Rohit said. That will be Jasprit Bumrah, Akashdeep, and Harshit Rana. So no Prasidh Krishna for me. Bumrah, Harshit Rana, and Akashdeep, and that extra simmer being Nitish Kumar Reddy. So these four will be your fast bowling options. As far as spin bowling is concerned, spin bowlers are concerned, it will be Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin, and I would rather send Dhruv Jurel at number 3, KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal opening the batting with Dhruv Jurel at number 3, number 4, 5, 6 with Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, and number 6 is Ravindra Jadeja. So that's my lineup for the first test.
Rohit, I'm curious, before I ask Gargi, why did you pick Harshit Rana and not Prasidh Krishna? Prasidh Krishna bowled so well, he played the A games. Why did you pick Harshit Rana over Prasidh Krishna? Just curious.
The way he is bowling, especially in the sessions, it's been asked from Gautam Gambhir also. He told at the press conference, the pre-departure press conference, we were very keen at that point of time, to know that why they haven't if they are sending KL Rahul, if they are sending this Dhruv Jurel, why they haven't sent it. For me, it was two players. Why they haven't sent it Sarfaraz Khan, and why haven't they sent it Harshit Rana? Because there is no workload management. So I completely differ there from Gautam Gambhir, that he was saying at that point of time that yes, you have to take care of the workload management. Because Harshit, yes, he's part of the Sri Lankan squad also, ODI squad. He was part of the Indian squad for the first 2 games, for the Zimbabwe T20 series also for the first 2 games, and he looked really impressive. But they hadn't got a game there, not in Sri Lankan ODIs, and at that point of time also, he was so better, off the surface. In Australia, what I observed there, it's all about what you do with this. Not this is not a surface where you need those kind of deliveries, which we say, in cricketing terms, just kiss the surface. At this part of the world, you don't need someone who can just bowl like it's just kissing the surface and then moving. You need someone who can bowl those hard lengths. And I'm seeing Harshit Rana doing this day in, day out, putting those hard yards, bowling those bouncer, short ball step. Plus the way he's contributed in the batting also. He was batting also, and we all know that he can contribute with the bat also. So there are only two Indian bowlers, Akashdeep who can bat a bit, go for long shots, and then Harshit Rana. So batting wise, if you see our bowlers, we are way back as if you compare it with this Australian bowling lineup. Mitch Stark can bat, Pat Cummins can bat, Nathan Lyon can stand there for a good uh, 15, 20 minutes or 10 minutes. But in our case, if you pick Siraj, no. If you pick Bumrah, yes. We all know what he did with Stuart Broad. But yes, can we trust his batting? I'm not very sure. If you are going with Prasidh Krishna, can you trust his ability? And if you are going with any other pacer, can you trust his batting ability? So batting ability is a very little part of it. But what I'm seeing in bowl here, that's my point. That hard yards, bowling those hard lengths, putting it very well, and off the surface, he's your one of the best picks.
Okay, Gargi, basically also the surprise element is what Rohit is also talking about. Harshit Rana is a surprise package. Australians don't know him. Prasidh Krishna, he's been there. I mean, you can just unleash someone. I mean, we've seen that happen. I'll come to you, Devashish. There's one question, Gargi, take this. At no point did we say Jadeja is worse than Ashwin or Ashwin is better than Jadeja. Deepanshu, how can you say Ashwin is way above than Jadeja overseas, etc.? Gargi, answer that question and give me your team. Oh, you've given the
Can you
team.
say
Answer that. Yeah.
How can you say Ashwin is way above than Jadeja in overseas? Just check Ashwin's last two series in South Africa. His total flop, and see latest series in New Zealand at home. He has not performed well. Even I don't think we ever made the comparison between Ashwin and Jadeja to begin with. They're both in their own rights incredibly talented and hardworking players, and I don't think we compared them even once. But when it comes to BGT, when it comes to this series, Ashwin's experience will be it cannot be compared with anyone else. And like sort of if someone like a Sourav Ganguly is saying, play your best spinner, it means something. And uh, by far in red ball cricket, Ashwin has been your highest wicket taker. He's given you those breakthroughs, and not to mention the backing that he brings with his batting. uh, Now I think I've answered that question. Now playing 11. Yes, so my playing 11 will be KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Devdutt Padikkal, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Dhruv Jurel, Jadeja, Ashwin, Bumrah, Akashdeep, Siraj.
The same as Vaibhav's 11, two spinners and three fast bowlers, which has no hit the deck. So no Harshit Rana, no Prasidh Krishna for either Vaibhav or Gargi. So that's interesting that we are getting this. Devashish said you had put your hand up.
Yeah, I just like to add a bit what Rohit has said, means about Harshit Rana being preferred over Prasidh Krishna, is that that Gautam Gambhir factor. Means obviously he is someone who you will feel that if he finds someone who can perform for the team, who he feels can, he will back him to the hill. And for me, I think he sees something special since the KKR days, that Harshit Rana could be that X factor for India. He brings in that unknown commodity. So I think that for me, that might be one reason that Harshit Rana is been looked as the likely fast bowler in that bowling lineup, who has been preferred over Prasidh Krishna.
Both our reporters on ground talking about the Gautam Gambhir factor in the Harshit Rana call. We have to wait and see what happens. But Rohit, Devashish, when is it that
Otherwise,
yeah,
Bodega, it make no sense that with just an experience of 10 first class or 8 first class games, you can take this much a big this much a call. You are sending a guy for an international debut to down under to Australian conditions. You must have been something, you have studied something about him, or you have noticed something about it, some particular strengths that he can contribute in this particular manner. Look at this, what he has done with Varun Chakravarti. Suddenly 4 games, 12 wickets. And what was his performance when he was picked up for the T20 World Cup squad? Everyone questioned that. Everyone. That why Varun Chakravarti? Now everyone was saying, no problem with Varun Chakravarti. What he did with Nitish Kumar Reddy, what he did with this complete squad which he has selected for either which has been he's been a part of this. If you talk about South Africa, if you talk about the Washington Sundar call, everyone was criticizing about the Washington Sundar call, that if you have Akshar Patel, you have Kuldeep Yadav, you have Ashwin, you have Jadeja, why to bring one more off spinner? Why to bring one more off spinner? But look at what had happened. Look at what had happened. You will be losing that match, I think, within innings if Washington Sundar wouldn't be there. So I think picking up wickets, hitting runs, performing well. Gautam Gambhir, one thing which I really appreciate about Gautam Gambhir, there are multiple things. It's not about one thing. I'm just saying that on those many things, one thing I appreciate about him, he has that talent. What do you say in English? That eye for the talent. I think that he has that eye. He recognizes talent really well. We have seen this multiple times. Be it Sunil Narain story, be it Robin Uthappa, be it now Varun Chakravarti, be it Nitish Kumar Reddy, be it obviously Harshit Rana. He has to prove himself here, but I'm not doubting his if he's doing it, there must be some reason. I'm not taking this that, oh, the KKR factor, he was the mentor there, and there are multiple players than in KKR. Why not Weber Varuna?
No, this I can 100% guarantee what Rohit is saying is right. Gautam Gambhir, I am known for. Gautam Gambhir is a friend of mine. Gautam Gambhir will never take KKR, BKR, DKR, CKR. All this is nonsense. If Gautam Gambhir as head coach of India feels so and so needs to be given an opportunity, he'll do that. He can make a mistake. He will own that mistake. I have known Gautam. He will put his hand up and say, yes, it's my call. I made a mistake. And that's how it should be. I've never sat on the fence. I've made 100 mistakes in my life.
That is what I have tried to say. It's not about KKR, but having watched him in KKR ranks, he felt that this is one player who can deliver for you. That is what I was trying to. It's not about KKR. Gautam Gambhir is not someone who will pick players from XYZ. It's not about that.
That point is well settled. And Gautam Gambhir, one can say that. Varun Chakravarti, even that Dubai World Cup bowled with a wet ball, they were due. So a lot of things happened in that World Cup. Bye, take this. So, some super chat. Siraj's lack of wicket-taking form should be a point of worry. Praying for Shami to come back soon from AU. But Siraj overseas has always been different, Vaibhav.
Absolutely. I don't think Siraj form is any concern to me, because we have seen in the past whenever he plays with the Duke's ball or Kookaburra, he has performed well. He made his test debut in Australia. It's just about, I think, one spell. Siraj is more of a rhythm bowler for me. Siraj, Shami, these are rhythm bowlers. When they get into some sort of rhythm, you talk about Stuart Broad, when they get into a rhythm, they can rattle the opposition. They can take 5-6 wickets in one single spell. So Siraj is that kind of bowler. So you have to obviously back his skills, back him as a player. So there is no questioning of Siraj plays. Also, considering that Mohammad Shami is not here. Till now, Mohammad Shami is not in Australia. If Shami would have been there, I would have picked Shami, Bumrah and Akashdeep, because Akashdeep has done nothing. We are all talking about Prasidh Krishna, Harshit Rana, but Akashdeep has done nothing wrong in losing his place. Okay, and he has a terrific record against left-handers. So Usman Khwaja is there, round the wicket. Usman Khwaja is there, Travis Head is there, and Alex Carey. All these three players are in terrific form. You talk about Travis Head, Alex Carey is coming off a good run in Sheffield Shield first 2 matches. So all these left-handers are in good form. So you need Akashdeep. So Akashdeep on the basis of form, Siraj on the basis of what he has done in the past in overseas conditions, and obviously Bumrah.
Time for us to close the show. But a lot of people asking, when will the full Sourav Ganguly interview be shown? Tomorrow morning, what we are planning to do is we'll have a live again with Devashish and Rohit. Tomorrow morning, Sourav Ganguly on Rishabh Pant, Sourav Ganguly on Virat Kohli. We will debate these 2 points. Sourav Ganguly at length, he's spoken why he chose Rishabh Pant as the red ball batter several years back. He's also talked about Rishabh Pant in white ball, extensively about Rishabh Pant, the red ball batter. He's backed Virat Kohli big time, saying he's backing Virat Kohli to deliver, and why so? Why the New Zealand series is an aberration? We will debate these 2 in the morning, 9 a.m. and subsequently, and 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. This show, we will stream the full interview. It's about a 30-minute or so interview. We will stream at least 25 minutes of it. We will stream the full Sourav Ganguly interview tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So that's something that wanted to. So to close the show, Devashish Sen, Rohit Juglan, when are these fellows leaving the A team? Are we sort of tell our viewers What is the thing? I mean, when are they leaving Perth? When will we get to know the final thing? When Devdutt Padikkal or whoever is being added to the squad, like you guys have been saying, will we get airport visuals? What are your plans in the evening? What are our reporters doing? Can you please tell our viewers as we close?
It's going to be a late night. Devashish Da will, put more light into this, because these all are Devashish Da's report. So, yeah, Devashish Da, over to you.
So I hope you guys
Yeah.
have enough coffee and enough food. Devashish.
Yeah, no problem. Means obviously we are planning immediately after this broadcast ends, we will rush to the team hotel, because the Indian A team is having a late night flight, so they will be checking out very soon. So instead of going to the airport, we will try to go to the hotel and just capture the visuals, which we will share it on our platform. The India A team leaving Australia. So we'll get to know actually who I meant. Obviously, everyone can know who are the players who are staying back. Whether it's only Devdutt Padikkal or it's both Rituraj Gaikwad and Devdutt Padikkal, will be able to confirm it in a in half an hour to maximum 1 hour from now, because we will be at the hotel to capture the visuals and give you a latest update.
So watch out for that breaking from Rohit Juglan and Devashish said. Shubhan Chakraborty at this point is already on his way to the airport. So he will meet Rohit Juglan and Devashish Sen tomorrow. It is his first tour of Australia. He's extremely excited, had a chat with him. He's on his way to the airport for a 11 p.m. flight from Kolkata, Singapore, Perth. So that's Shubhan's itinerary. For the rest of us, all of us will travel in December, because before that, there's the mega auction. 3 of them will be there for the series, and then many of us. See, in our platform, we are clear. A lot of people, after I wrote a piece saying this is about opportunity, wrote in that Twitter thing saying, "Arey, X platform only we see the editors travel." Please don't criticize them, and I'll tell you why. Suppose today Gargi is the sports editor of a particular platform. She is answerable to the management. The management will have some requirements of Gargi. The management will also decide who to send. So you must understand, if I work for an India Today, the management also decided in consultation who to send. So if they wanted me to travel, it is impossible for someone else to say, no, I will send a junior colleague, because the management also wants its numbers, its immediate gains, etc. So the truth is, and many of you, a lot of people said Vikrant travels, Nikhil travels. Don't blame them, because I understand, because Vikrant has worked with me. I've seen that guy grow. I've known him for 20 years. Don't blame anyone, because Vikrant is also under compulsion to travel. If he says, no, I will send X or Y, the management will say no. How many trips do these people take in a year? Tell me. One, max two. These days, no budgets. 90% of the platforms, no budgets. So that one trip or a major tour, the management will say, no, you must go and deliver. That's why we are paying you top dollar. The difference with us is, here we can take the call. I can own that mistake. I will put my hand up and say, no, I sent Gargi and I was wrong. Big deal. I should have left and created Rev Sports 4 years back. Every day of my life, I regret this. I should have left in 2016 and created Rev Sports, because the idea is to grow the fraternity. All of my colleagues will travel. That's when they grow. Rohit will grow after this series. Devashish has traveled enough. Gargi, I'm just keeping fingers crossed for her visa. She, I'm sure, will get done, and she will travel with me in December. Vaibhav, we have to send him to the Champions Trophy. Vaibhav has done enough by now. Vaibhav will travel to the Champions Trophy soon enough. So all of my colleagues will travel, because unless you are put into the deep end, you've got to go and make mistakes. Once you make mistakes, you will learn. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Let my colleagues make mistakes, because every mistake will make them a better journalist. That's the story. Simple as that. But don't criticize others. I know where Vikrant is coming from. I know there are compulsions. Many times, when I wanted to send someone else, I was told, no, you can't do this. You go. Because we need numbers. We need breaking stories. So he must be under compulsion. That is the point. On that note, we'll close this show. But as far as Rev Sports is concerned, every day I get many applications for jobs. I just wish we could have taken everybody, because this is about growing the fraternity. This is not about numbers. Then we wouldn't have covered Paralympics or chess. Someone told me yesterday, why are you sending somebody to chess? It's the auction day. BGT is going on. You have so many people. Why are you sending somebody to Singapore? Are Ding Liren versus Gukesh Domaraju happens to be one of the most important matches ever in Indian sporting history. What do you mean you can't send someone? Of course you have to send someone to Singapore. This cricket versus the rest. Oh, you do cricket, you don't do this. Is complete nonsense. Doesn't mean that you don't cover chess or para athletics or badminton or, for that matter, any other sport. Do everything. That is how you grow the fraternity. We'll end there. It's not a sermon from me, but I just thought I'll explain. Don't criticize others. It's very easy to criticize everyone. Don't criticize. I am sure at the end of these 2 months, Rohit Juglan will be a better journalist, a better understanding of the whole thing. An Australia tour, an England tour. When Gargi travels, she will. When Vaibhav travels, he will. Devashish is a veteran. Devashish has traveled more than me. He's the most traveled Indian journalist to cricket tours. So no question on that front. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Subscribe to the platform if you think we are good enough. And if you think we are not, and if you think like what you said, we don't criticize X or Y or praise X or Y, we don't care. Thank you very much for watching.